Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show. Obviously, it has been a long while since the last Hatter Show. Obviously, it was a keep, sell, loan that me and my dad did. We did do it straight away, just get it out of the way. And since then, obviously, a few of the players we did say we wanted to depart have left the football club. So that is good, on that side of things. Maybe one or two we didn't necessarily expect, but it's happened. It has happened, and we've obviously brung players in, and obviously, as you can see from the title, we are set to bring more in as well. It's just myself today. Dad's going to come on, as the season is a lot closer, the League One season. But yeah, I thought I'd do one. Do you know what I mean? Because there is a bit of a rumour going around, whether it is, true or not. I thought I'd just talk on it anyway. And that is obviously TAHITH Chong is rumoured to be going potentially to Preston. Now, according to Talk PNE, which apparently isn't the most reliable, I believe it is just a Preston fan page, they did say Preston have inquired about Luton Town's TAHITH Chong. Now, interesting one, this one, because obviously he hasn't been seen, in any of the pre-season, whether that was at Bournemouth or when the boys went out to Slovenia. And he is a player, sorry, a lot of Luton fans do want off the books, including myself. Very, very underwhelming, his time at Luton, if we're going to be totally honest. I mean, the only good time for him was, that Liverpool game. And then obviously, he was doing all right in the games after, did score away at Tottenham. But, the Championship last year, one problem me and my dad always said with him is his physicality, how easy it is for him to get bodied off the ball. And, it didn't improve, and we wanted it to improve last season, but it just didn't, poor stats as well. 2 goals, in a whole season. That is disappointing. And, it hasn't really worked. Let's be honest. We were buzzing when we signed him, rightly so, because what he did, against us for Birmingham, in that 5-0 win they had. But disappointing, and I'm sure a lot of you in the comments will agree, not going to be disheartened. And I've said that of a lot of players this summer. But yeah, do let me know your thoughts on that. Would you be disheartened to see him go? I mean, we'll have a look at his stats in a bit more detail now, but yeah, they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. And I was looking, even at Birmingham, I mean, there were, his goal contributions overall, which is what made it better. But even then, at Birmingham, I wouldn't even say they were great. So obviously last year in the Championship, 30 games played, 2 goals, 1 assist. Overall, we got more yellow cards than goal contributions. That is not good enough. Again, I've said it before, for a player who's played in the Champions League as well, for Manchester United in one of their, best comebacks, obviously bar the one where they won the Champions League, that game against PSG, all them years ago, there was no fans. It was a COVID season, I believe. He was immense in that game. We got in, we thought, yeah, okay. It's not getting the United team, but, United are one of them where, not necessarily now, but their team was all right then. Do you know what I mean? It was decent. But we just thought he'd come here, done what he done at Birmingham. Usually we like to sign players that do well against us. But with him, it's just not really worked out. But yeah, like I say, 30 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, 5 yellow cards. And then you're looking at the Premier League season, 33 games, 4 goals, no assists. I mean, like I said, he had a decent spell, the Liverpool game, and that is the thing, if he does depart, the fans will they won't forget that moment against Liverpool. At the time, it's a massive point. We actually went 1-0 up in that game. But other than that, disappointing, really. I mean, the Tottenham goal, I guess you could put up there as well, considering that was away. It was the first goal of the game early on. I think it's our first attack. But overall, he's been so disappointing, and I can't remember the exact price that we paid for him, but I know it was a couple of mil. Might have even been more at the time, and yeah, he just hasn't lived up to it whatsoever. And like I say, especially the fact that we're further down. People go, yeah, but you'll be able to do a job in League One. But there's two problems I have when people say this sort of thing. First of all, you got to look forward after that. So yeah, you might be able to do a job in League One, but then you want to progress as a football club. You want to progress with a new stadium, playing as in the highest division as possible. And second of all, the lower down you go in England, the English leagues, the more physical it is. And he's shown last season that he can't handle it. For me, I'm going to be totally honest. I mean, I remember Norwich away. All right, he shouldn't have played as a wing back, but still, one of the goals we conceded in that game, he, even if you're not a wing back, you've got to be seeing that out. He got bodied off the ball, and then they scored from it, and it was awful. It's absolutely awful. So, yeah, it hasn't really worked out with him. And I mean, I'm hearing other rumours that apparently he's injured for 3 months. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but maybe that is the case because, obviously, like I said, we haven't seen him in pre-season yet. But I mean, if we can get him off the books, if he's not injured, then we should be doing that for me. But yeah, we'll go through some comments. Don't know what is going on with my StreamYard. 1 second. There we go. Big up to Paul. He says, evening, T-boys. Good to see you in here, mate. Big up to Andy. He says, get rid as soon as possible. If we get 1 million, take it. He hasn't got heart for fight. He's a luxury player, always falling down too lightweight. Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to what I say. I am just going to double check how much on transfer market it actually says he's worth. But yeah, I'd agree. If we can get 1 million for him, how disappointing he's been. Yes, we're losing profit overall, based on what we paid for him, but he hasn't lived up to it. His goal contributions, like I say, are terrible. More yellow cards last year than goal contributions. For an attacking midfielder who can play as a left winger, right winger, that just isn't good enough. I mean, on here it says he's worth 5 million euros. He's definitely not now. But yeah, if we, like I say, and like you said, if we can get a mil for him, I'll definitely take that 100% because, like I said, too disappointing. I mean, you could argue a couple of weeks ago, him and Mengi are the ones that the fans want out the most. I mean, I still think Mengi goes, whether that is in this summer or January. But what I will say about him is I was at the Boreham Wood game and for a player, who a lot of people said, oh, he's not looked interested and stuff like that. I mean, in that game, he was eager. He was proper eager. He was shouting at the players, he was getting stuck in. I mean, it's an interesting one because, again, we've got loads of centre-backs as well. So I don't really know. I mean, I still think Holmes goes. I mean, he did put a post out on Instagram the other day of him training when they're in Slovenia, a smiley face and that. But I don't know. I still think he goes because, you look at a team, the what was it, 4 30-minute games the other day. He didn't obviously feature in that. It's a lot of youth players, youth-based in it as well. So, yeah, I'm not too sure with him. I mean, I still think he goes. I mean, I don't think he's that bad of a player. I just think with the amount of players we've got, especially at the back, I just don't really see where he fits in. And like I've said, if I had the choice out of him or Anderson, I'll be keeping Anderson. And it looks like Anderson could be staying. I mean, he's featured a lot in pre-season. He's actually done quite well. Again, I know we haven't played the greatest opposition so far, but still, he's looked very good. And he can do a job in League One. Like I said, last time he was in League One, he was playing for Barnsley. He was the captain. Obviously, when they got to the playoff final, he was injured. maybe it could have been a different story. If he was featuring in that game, because that season he was just unbelievable for them, and Barnsley fans to this day will still tell you that. So yeah, I want to give him a chance. I know certain people don't rate him, but I think he could do a job. And then looking at it going forward, I reckon he's another player that could be a captain as well. And that's the thing now. That is the good thing. Say for example we do keep him. I mean, even if we don't, we've got leaders at the back. You've got Anderson. McGuinness, who's going to be a captain in the future. Bloomfield's already hinted at that. Obviously, there was worries because we didn't see him in pre-season in Slovenia, but obviously it's come out that he was ill. So, yeah, he'll be a future captain. He'll be amongst that captain conversation. Obviously, Naismith, is obviously had the armband a few times as well. So there is them players there anyway. But I think Anderson, if we do keep him, he could be another one that you can definitely add to that mix. Mengi will go transfer window end of August. We'll try to get maximum money. We've got players that want it here. Mengi believes he's the next Messi. Yeah, I mean, again, there's two ways you can look at it because, again, he's got a lot of criticism, even from myself, about not really showing that determination, thinking he's better than Luton, basically. But like I said, again, it might be because he wants to move heavily why he played so well, and showed determination against Bournemouth in that first half. But I don't know. Who knows? I mean, one or two centre-backs will definitely leave anyway, because like I say, we've got so many. Obviously, the new signings as well. One of them's obviously on loan from Wolves. He is naturally a centre-back. And then obviously the one we got from Rotherham, he can play as a centre-back and a right-back, even though he is actually a CDM. So there's the options there. So yeah, I definitely think that one or two more will go. Right now, if I had to say, I'll probably say Holmes and I'll say Mengi. I do think we might keep Anderson. I do think we will. I mean, let me know in the chat. Would you keep Anderson? Do let me know on that. But yeah, talking about signings, obviously Matt Bloomfield has said his own words. We've got our eyes on getting stronger now. Obviously, if you watch the Town on Tour things that they've done every day, they were good to watch. To be fair, it was good to see that more communication with the fans. Daily stuff, seeing how the players and that are doing. People still want to see that now. Even when they're back in the UK. But yeah, Bloomfield did come a bit late from the interview that they were doing on there because he was on a Zoom meeting, apparently talking to players that he wants to get through the door. Now, what do you think our main priorities are? Because we've got an experienced striker in Wells, who I would say is the Morris replacement. Me personally, I wouldn't mind another striker, like sort of a young one. Obviously, we have been linked with Nathan Lowe. There was rumours, and there were fake rumours, clearly, that a 2.5 million bid was accepted. But he was playing for Stoke the other day in their friendly. Did actually lose to Shrewsbury. I mean, I was a bit surprised about that, I'll be honest. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's been the rumours with him. I would like to get someone who's going to come through, because I'll be honest, I thought Woodrow the other day, he was terrible. And I thought he'd be like a third string striker. I mean, he might still be, but we need to get more, because the way I see it, as much as he's 35, I think Wells will play a lot of games next year. Not every game, but he'll play a lot of games, I feel. Then I feel Nordas is sort of the second option. Good that he got 2 goals the other day. Again, it doesn't matter what the opposition is. He needs to get the goals for the confidence. Whatever league, division, game, whatever you get goals in will give you confidence. So I'm happy that he got the 2 goals. Obviously, if you did watch along, they were the goals that celebrated the most, because he needed that for confidence. Especially after having 4 big chances against Bournemouth and not scoring. So that was good to see. But yeah, like I say, I think he'll be a second string option. But if we get someone else in now, like striker wise, then they'll be the second option for me, or maybe even the starter. I don't know. It could all turn, but I'm basing it on what we've got right now. when it comes to that. I mean, a position I feel we need to fill is right back, because as much as I think Walter's going to feature more, he's still quite young. Do you know what I mean? He's still got a lot to learn. I'd rather get someone who's experienced and then get someone to help him. You know, you chop and change. You know, play Walters in the cup games, play Walters in the whatever it's called now. You know, the St Johnsons when we won it. You know, I'd like to do that. Really, left back. I don't know, because I don't know what's going on with Doughty. I mean, if I had to say, I still think he goes. I think he's just trying to get his fitness up, then go. Personally, but yeah, I mean, obviously, if he goes, we need to get someone in. We need to get a backup anyway if he stays for me, because you know the players we're playing in pre-season there. Phillips, you know, I like Phillips, but he's not a wing back. Do you know what I mean? He's more of an attacking player. You know, not really doing that defensive sort of thing as well. And also something that was quite interesting the other day. Asaya Jones' number was worn by another player. Now, obviously, he wasn't there. You know, obviously, Ali didn't feature, but he was there, whereas Asaya Jones wasn't. So, is he maybe going? I mean, again, it's another one. If he goes, you got to be getting decent money for them. Like, one thing I am disappointed about, and I haven't really touched on it. Obviously, I touched on the Asgard rumours when they first come out, but obviously, we've lost profit, you know, from what we brought. Obviously, we got him for 3 million. We've lost profit because I think we sold him for about 3 million, but we can obviously get money as well. So I was a bit disappointed with that, given that we got him in January as well. You know, we don't know exactly what it is, but based on what I've been hearing, it is that we've lost profit, like I say, and that is disappointing because, yes, all right, if a player don't want to be there, you know, and has other ambitions, then fair enough. Yeah, you want to get rid of them, but we could have at least, you know, tried to negotiate and get a better offer for me and a better deal when it comes to that situation. But yeah, like I say, obviously a left back, and obviously if we do play three at the back, I don't know what we're going to play. We're chopping and changing, aren't we, between four at the back and three at the back. I mean, if we do play three at the back and Sire Jones has gone, then you're going to have to get a right back definitely. You know, because like I say, Walters is better if you put a back four on, you know, and you have him as a right back. I mean, wing back, no, not for me. So we need to address that anyway, I feel. Whether, you know, Sire Jones does stay or what, I just think I want to see, if we do keep him, I want to see him higher up. You know, I want to see him do what he's known for doing. That's attacking, that's going forward and stuff. I know he played for Middlesbrough there sometimes, but it's not his game. Do you know what I mean? He's much better up there. But I don't know if we're actually going to keep him. Because like I say, his number was worn by a different player, which was quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, Asgard replacement is another potential place that we could be replacing. Obviously, yes, we have got, I think it's Jake Richards, isn't it? But he's 17, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect him to come in and start regularly and be that, you know, bang on replacement for me. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, what, like, again, goalkeeper's another one that we need to replace for me, because I know it's only one game, but Walton the other day, I mean, he should have done better on the goal, I'll be totally honest. You know, and Shea is a good option, but I don't want to see him start, you know, be the number one next year. I think to come in, play in the cup games, do a job every now and then in maybe league games, because there is so many, then yeah, fair enough. But I want someone I want a number one, you know, someone else. Not number one just because they have the number one number. Yeah, I want someone else. Obviously, we did have the goalkeeper training that was at Chelsea. Bergstrom, I think that's how you say his name. Obviously, you know, we haven't seen him since. Nothing else has come out of that. So I'm not too sure if we are actually getting him through the door. I don't think we are. I think he was just training, and then we were, you know, sort of on a scouting mission, I guess you could say. But yeah, there's a lot of places, guys. I mean, one place I'd probably comfortably sit here and say we don't need to fill right now is centre back and midfield. I think midfield we got a lot of options now, unless you're counting the Cam. Like I say, maybe you need to like get an Asgard replacement. Because like I say, you can't put all that pressure on Jake Richards being 17, and again he's highly rated. You know, made his debut for Exeter. at 15. But still, you cannot expect him to come in and do that. And again, obviously, we got the St. Johnson's. I can't remember what it's called, so I'm just going to call it a St. Johnson's Trophy. Obviously, we've got that. I expect youngsters to play in that. And if I'm being honest, I expect us to win that group. I mean, we've got Barnet in it. Obviously, done well last year. I think it's Brighton under 21s. And then obviously we got Cambridge. And last time we played Cambridge was in the FA Cup and beat them 3-0. Me and my dad did a watch along to that. It's a comfortable game, really. And for me, they haven't really improved. They're still quite similar. So I'll probably say the toughest game in that will probably be Barnet. To be fair, I'm not even going to joke around with that. So yeah, I expect us to be doing well in that and play the youngsters and maybe some second string players that are usually on the bench. Maybe some experience for that sort of tournament. Maybe like Woodrow, maybe them type of players. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it'll be interesting. David here says, hope you're all good. Just got in from work. Hope you're well. Looking forward to Spurs. And we need to sign more players. Yeah, again, lots to say, chat. Do let me know in the comments what is your priority that we need to fill. Like I say, there's a lot of places. Right now I'm going to say right back. I'm going to say right back because, like I say, we can't just have Waters through the season. I don't know if Jones is going. Like I say, someone had his number the other day. And then I would probably say it's either left back or goalkeeper, if I'm going to be totally honest, because, again, like I say, I have wanted to see Walton. However, the other day, I think he could have done better on the goal. I'm not going to lie about that. But again, another reason I did want to see him is because, obviously, we got him from League One. We got him from Barnsley as well. So, he's played there before, similar to Anderson in that sense. He's played there. He's played in this division. Should be able to do all right in this division. But yeah, for me personally, it is a little bit of a different one, I guess, because I did actually see Anderson play a few times for Barnsley in League One, whereas I didn't really look at Walton in League One, if I'm going to be totally honest. So yeah, and I think the year they were in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure Eisted was the goalkeeper, or he definitely was in the final, if I remember rightly. If anyone remembers, do let me know in the chat. But yeah, looking forward to Spurs. Yeah, that is the test, isn't it? And I do like that we do that. Last year we done that with Celta Vigo, where you put that last game as the test at Kenilworth Road. I will be at that game. And yeah, it will be interesting, that game, because for me, I'll be totally honest, it depends who Tottenham put out. If they put out a stronger team, then I'd probably expect them to beat us, probably like 3-1. I think we can score. However, if they put out more of a youth-based team, then I'll probably say they still beat us, but it's narrow. It's like a 2-1. But yeah. David says, goalkeeper desperately, and why do Luton always sign people who are nearly retired? I know experience helps, but League One's totally different. I'm looking at it so far, right? I like the older ones that we've got. So Naismith, we needed to play him more when he come in last year, but we didn't. We did, but then he got a red card against Burnley. You punished him the game after against Middlesbrough. Didn't play him, didn't bring him on at all. I didn't mind that. That's fair enough. But then after that, he should have played more. Especially the last game of the season. The fact Bell played over him was a joke. So I don't mind that. George Saville at this level is really good. Again, we haven't played the greatest opposition in pre-season, but he's looked like he could be a underrated figure, I guess you could say, in this team this year. I just think some of the things he does, the way he cleans up. And the thing is, as much as under Bloomfield, the midfield worked better, when you have Walsh, Clark and Asgard, they're all predominantly attacking. So next year, if you've got Clark, who's more of an attacker, like midfielder, you got Saville and you got, I don't know, someone else, if you play three in midfield again, then, you've got that cover there, and Saville can be sort of like that replacement for Nakamba, or even the player from Rotherham can do that, and then you can have Saville and Clark. Do you know what I mean? Saville doing a bit of both, and then Clark more attacking. I don't know. There's things you can do, and to be fair, I've just remembered, I've said we need a cam, like an Asgard replacement. Do we actually? Because think about it, Clark is actually a cam, isn't he? Cam slash right winger. Obviously, we don't play wingers, but that is another thing you can do. So I don't mind that. And then Wells, I don't mind that at all. He scored what? I'm just going to get confirmation. 10 or 11 goals last year for Bristol City. And again, I know they were up there, but not a lot of people would have said that. I mean, I got called names under the sun for just predicting that they would get in the playoffs last year. So, yeah, I'm just going to have a look. I know it's 10 or 11 goals. I just want to get it right. 10 goals in 41 games. I mean, that's better than Morris and obviously Elijah last year. So I don't mind the experienced players we've gone in and brought so far, because at the end of the day, we've we've obviously got them all for free as well. That's another thing. And again, the free signings didn't really work last year, if we're going to be honest. Obviously, Baptiste, Moses. I mean, Baptiste, if he don't get injured, he could be vital for us this year. I mean, again, guys, I know we haven't played the greatest opposition, but still, the things he's been doing in the games, the way he's been getting on the ball. Like, I wouldn't start him a lot next year. Like, I'd rather start Clark over him, Walsh, for example, but I wouldn't mind bringing him on. Yeah, I'd definitely be open to that, because he is a good player. It's just he's so, excuse me, so injury prone. Hopefully, that can sort of, be off the books. Otherwise, we're going to have another Reece Burke, but in midfield. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, and hopefully just the stuff we're doing just looks so much better than last year. And even again, I know I keep saying it, the opposition we played are rubbish. But let's just be honest. However, the stuff we're doing is just looking better. And again, we didn't play the greatest teams last year. I wouldn't say we played anyone great in pre-season until we played Celtic Vigo, to be quite honest with you. And even then, we played AGF. I don't know who they are. We lost to them. But you couldn't see the patterns of play. You couldn't see what we're trying to do. Whereas this year, you are seeing what we're trying to do. The players look a lot more fitter, look a lot more sharper as well. I mean, some of the shooting I've seen them do, in training and that, like, they're looking more clinical and raring to go. Obviously, in some of the games, players have not been so great. Obviously, Nordas in the first pre-season game against Boreham Wood, and obviously Woodrow in the last game. But then the other games, they've done something. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. We definitely still need more, though. And again, like I say, when we play Tottenham, that is the test. Whoever they put out, they've just won the Europa League. So whoever they play is going to be a test. So you've got to look at it like that as well. I do feel when it comes to that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I am looking forward to that game. I am going to be right next to the Tottenham fans, so they probably will give me a bit of stick, but is what it is. And obviously, I will be doing the fan cams as well. So if you do go to that, do obviously come up and do one. Obviously, if you do want to be at the usual. And then yeah, obviously the season starts after that. We're the first game of the EFL, the whole EFL against Wimbledon. I am keeping an eye on all their friendlies up until they do play us. And they did draw to Watford the other day, so that was that was interesting. And they did nearly lose to Enfield though, which was a bit like, what's going on there? 2-0 down. Did come back and win 4-2. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on their games. I think they got Sutton next. I believe that's on Saturday as well when we play Gillingham. Obviously, we do play tomorrow as well against, I'm hearing it's Colchester. So yeah, that'll be an interesting game. I mean, that makes sense. Bloomfield against his former team is behind closed doors, so I don't think there'll be any streams or anything like that. I am hearing, if you do want to watch Gillingham, I don't know, Luton might put something out later on in the week, but they played Reading the other day, and apparently it's £5 on their stream. I mean, it is a bit annoying when they charge for friendlies, so hopefully Luton show it for free or something. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, they'll put something out later on in the week, I'm sure. Regarding it, obviously, if you don't go to it, which I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to a game now until Tottenham. I'd like to go Southend, but the fact it's a midweek is a bit annoying, to be fair. If it's a Saturday, then yeah, probably, but the fact that it's a midweek, I'll not be going to that. So the next one I'll be at is Tottenham. When it comes to the friendlies, um, do we know how many players we need to get rid of to meet size requirements? I'm not too sure. If I'm going to be totally honest, mate. I mean, if anyone knows in the chat, do let us know. But yeah, I don't know exactly. If I'm going to be totally honest. But yeah, like I say, I don't mind the experience that we've got so far. And the thing is, like I say, I still expect us to get rid of at least two centre backs. It's actually mad how many we've actually got. And I know sometimes it's good to have a lot. I mean, that year a couple of years ago when I think it's the year we missed out on the playoffs, missed out on the final, wasn't it? When we lost to Huddersfield. I think was that the year we had to put emergency goalkeepers in goal and stuff like that, like Steer, who then got that injury against Chelsea. That was an awful injury. Good to see him, doing well now at Peterborough. We will probably see him. I think he's still there. I don't think they've terminated his contract or got rid of him or anything like that. So yeah, it will be interesting there. Hopefully we'll see him there. And then obviously Iceland had to come in goal. And he done well, to be fair. I mean, Chelsea, they were club world champions then. Club world champions again. So yeah, I mean, we were unlucky to lose that game, obviously, if you remember that, in the FA Cup, the 3-2. I was at that game. I think we scored from like the first corner, didn't we? Reece Burke, great header, to be fair. And then I think Cornet scored the other goal in that game. But one of their goals for me, and I stand by it, it was offside. But there was no VAR because we weren't in the Prem and all that stuff. So, yeah, maybe if it was, it'd have been a bit different. But yeah, who knows? Either way, we put them to the test. And I remember we didn't even put out like our strongest team. I remember at the time looking at it and going, okay, it's not that strong. There's some, bigger names there, but it wasn't a full strength sort of thing. And again, obviously, we weren't going to win the FA Cup anyway, but I thought we had maybe went at the time a bit stronger given who we were playing. But yeah, we gave them a game anyway. So yeah, obviously that was under Nathan Jones. And it's quite ironic because Charlton went out to Slovenia now. But to be fair, I believe he's, wanted that to happen with Luton. Now I think we've got something where we do it every year for the next X amount of years. But yeah, obviously we're back now. We were coming back on the evening of the game the other day. And obviously players had a rest, but I have heard some people say they went past the training ground today and they were doing technical stuff. So that's good to see, that we're not slouching around because we've been, in a different country. We're not slouching around. We're still getting on with it, because under Edwards, right, I remember after games where we'd lose, on Saturday, the Sunday, wouldn't be in training. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just played crap. Like, there was one game I went to, Coventry away, and they weren't training the day after. Like, I think win, lose or draw next year, you'll see that a lot, that we will be training on the Sunday. And, just getting to grips with how Bloomfield wants to play. And again, it'll still be interesting to see what we actually play. I mean, do we play a 4-2-3-1? Do we play three at the back? I don't know because, like I said, in pre-season we've been chopping and changing. We've been trying four at the back, trying three at the back. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Right now, I'll probably say we play three at the back because we've got a lot more, centre backs, for example. It's not ideal, but again, under Bloomfield, it worked better. It was just some players were just crap, but then players have gone, most of them. Obviously, talk about Bell, he was awful last year. Obviously, like I've said, me personally, I've always felt sorry for Kaminsky. Be interested to see how he does. Charlton, I think, do well. Burke, again, was good on his day, but his day was rare, so I'm not too fussed about him departing. Morris, again, awful last year. I said I'd sell him. He'll do well for Derby, though, I'm sure, because they got a good manager. Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of anyone else. Oh, yeah, Asgard. I'm not too disheartened he's gone. It's just more the fact that we've lost money on him. That's what I'm disappointed about. Because Wigan obviously get part of the deal as well. So yeah, I mean, there will be more to depart. And there's obviously more to come in, like I said, with what Bloomfield said. But yeah, let's go through some more comments. Jackie says, hi, Ty. Gonna miss the Tottenham game, have a wedding, so glad you'll be there. Yeah, I probably won't vlog it because, it's only a friendly. I know I did it a couple of years ago at West Ham, but that was more because I was at the front. But yeah, I'll probably leave it. Like I say, I will do fan cams anyway. So if anyone is going to it, then do obviously come over and speak to me after the game. I can't lie, I thought this was actually Luton's YouTube then because it just had the Luton picture and it said Luton Town, but obviously I didn't see the rest of it. Is it true that Chong's going to leave? I mean, the source that it's coming from is not necessarily the most reliable. Apparently, it's just a Preston fan page, by the looks of it. But it is a talking point. More people reported on it. It did come out like yesterday, so I thought I would talk on it now, and just get my thoughts on it. Like I say, go back to the start of the stream to know my thoughts on that. But yeah, like I say, I wouldn't be too disheartened. If I'm going to totally be honest, when it comes to that, yeah, I know now. But yeah, I mean that is that really. When it comes to that, I don't think there's much else to really report on when it comes to all of this news. But yeah, big up to everyone that has tuned in. Obviously, it is the first Hat show in a while. Like I said, my dad will be, as we get closer to the season, he will be back on again. Obviously, we'll be doing it weekly, things like that. And I mean, I know it sounds bad, but I do like that we're in League One in a way because, not as many people do League One content as Championship, Premier League. It's been a lot more engaging. I mean, since we went down, you know, I've actually probably gained more views on Hat shows than like the first opening two in Premier League and the Championship, for example. So it's good to see, and it's good to see everyone that is watching stuff on the channel at the moment as well. T-Boy discusses, even though the season's done, obviously I'm still out here uploading stuff for you lot and stuff. Aidan says, with Asgard leaving, do you think we need to sign another 10? Would you have confidence in another current player in that role like Clark, Walsh, Doughty, Lamine or Nelson? Again, Lamine's another player people had worries with because he weren't in Slovenia. But obviously it come out that he's got a knock. I mean, even he looks like he's going to be a new Cam replacement. So as much as I said earlier, we might need to replace like Asgard, because you can't rely on Richards. He's very young. Do you know what I mean? And he's still got a lot to learn. Like I said, you've got Clark, who is actually a cam / right winger, but we don't play with wingers. And I can't see us changing it to wingers next year. So he can play there. Walsh can play there. Doughty, he's more left-sided for me, I'll be honest. Lamine, like I said, he's been looked to play there. And what I will say about Lamine, again, I know I keep saying it, not the greatest opposition in Bournemouth, but still, he looked a lot more bulky, and bigger and looked like he's a lot stronger as well. I mean, there was times, look at Sunderland away last year. Yeah, he was terrible in that game. Both goals were his fault. Let's just be honest. But it looks like we're going to play him higher. I mean, we've done that under Edwards in his first game against QPR away, and he was like, "What? He's a CDM." But it looks like we are going to play him higher. So he is another option there. Nelson, yeah, again, Nelson's another one. I mean, he's a striker. He's actually a striker, but again, he can play there. I expect Nelson to feature a lot more next year, definitely. Again, he's another player that you can predominantly play a lot more in the. I'm just going to call it St. Johnson's, like I keep saying, because they change it every year. I can't even remember what it's called. It begins with V, Virtue Trophy. I don't know. Something like that. St. Johnson's Trophy, yeah, because that's when we won it. St. Johnson's Paint Trophy. Yeah. I wouldn't mind another final, to be fair. Obviously, I'd rather go up. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, I mean, there is the options for a cam. So maybe we don't actually need a cam. But yeah, I mean, what I will ask you guys, what formation would you like to play next year based on what we've got right now? Obviously, we expect more to come in, but we don't know what what positions that's going to be. So let me know. I mean, 4-2-3-1 could work, but who are you going to put up front? That's my thing, because that is what Bloomfield played at Wickham. I believe he played it at Colchester. That is his most used formation. Obviously, he tried it at us, didn't work, but, Morris was up there. He was awful up front by himself. He's not here no more. Could it work with, like, Wells? Could it work with Nordas? I mean, Jackie's saying 4-3-3. I mean, that's the basic, isn't it? 4-3-3, 4-4-2. They're the original formations. A lot of teams don't play that anymore, which I don't, get. Especially a 4-4-2. I mean, that could work with us. I mean, let's do it now. So you got bloody hell, you ain't got Kaminsky in goal right now. Like I say, I mean, Walton should have done better on that goal the other day. So right now, I'll say Shane goal. Right back, I'll go Walters. Left back, all the one from Rotherham. But I'll go Walters because he is actually a right back. Left back, right now, because we still got him, I'll say Doughty. Actually, no, I won't. I'll say Naismith. Naismith, left back. Centre backs, I'll go McGuinness and right now I'll say Makoso. And then 3, I'm going Saville, sort of in the middle of that. I'll go Clark on the right side. And then the left, I'll go Walsh. And then 3, I'm guessing it's sort of wingers. So if it is wingers, then I'll go Wells up front. See, I don't know now because, yeah, Ali on the left, actually. Ali on the left. I mean, there's players you can play there, but it's not really where they play, is it? Who would you guys play on the right? Or the right of the 3? Let me know, because I'm not too sure. We're currently linked with the Chelsea keeper. Yeah, so we were linked because he was in, what's it called? Slovenia. I don't think we are going to get him, like I said earlier. See, I'm not saying Nordas because he's a striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not really a player you'd play out wide for me, personally. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say Nelson, maybe. I don't know. Or what you could do is you could put Clark on the right, because he is actually a right winger, like I say. And then you could put, like, I don't know, Nelson in midfield or the Rotherham one. Do you know what I mean? There's things you can do. So, yeah. And I'm basing it on that without even looking at the squad right now as well. My dad's in the chat. He says, need another striker and goalkeeper for definite. Yeah, I agree. Like I say, Walton was a bit, not great the other day. I don't want Shea to be a starter, like I say. I like him, being an option and that, but not starting. So, totally agree. And striker, yeah, like I said earlier, someone who's a bit younger, do you know what I mean? Scott, like a Nathan Lowe, for example, someone like that. Paul says 3-4-3-1. Yeah, see, I could maybe see that a bit more. So what, we'll do that now. So Shane goal, 3 at the back. I'll say Naismith on the left, McGuinness in the middle, Makoso on the right. I think that if we go over back 3, that is going to be the predominantly starting back 3. Then I'll say right now I'll say we play, I'm basing it on who we've still got. So I'll say Doughty on the left. On the right, see, this is my worry because I don't know what's going on with Jones. I don't really rate Walters as a wing back. So I'll go with but then I ain't seen the Rotherham one. I think it's just a right back, So, I don't know if he can play as a wing back. So I guess I'll have to say Walters, And then what's that? So 2 more. I'll go Saville and Clark. And then what? 3, I'll go Walsh, Nelson, possibly. See, do you know what? Do you know what I'm best off doing? Let me use what we used to use and what we will start using again. So yeah, do you know what? So Jackie and Paul, we're still in the chat. I'll do both your formations, and then we can have a little look at it on here. If they're on here, these formations, some are, some aren't. It's a bit weird. So we'll start off with yours, Jackie. 4-3-3 is definitely on here because it's one of the most known formations. Let me just do it so I can do it the other way around. Right. And then what I will do as well is I will get up just our team. So, because I feel like I'm forgetting some players, even though I shouldn't be. So yeah, all right, we'll do that. We'll do that. So we'll start off with Jackie's because obviously Jackie did put it first, so we'll do it like that. Let me just share my screen. Right, so bloody adverts. Right, so obviously in goal, it feels weird not saying Kaminsky. You know, the amount of times last year I'd go, yeah, right, obviously in goal, Kaminsky. Now, right now, and again, it shows we need a goalkeeper. I like Shea, but he's not. I don't want to see him start, you know, every game next year. So Shea in goal. Oh, hold up. Why is it doing it like that? 1 second. Let me see if I can change it. I don't know why the screen is doing that. 1 second. Well, that's just a bit annoying. 1 second. What's happened to StreamYard recently? Doing right. There we go. There we go. Right. There we go. That's better. That is better. So with a 4-3-3, right? So Shane goal. Left back, I'm going to go Naismith. Again, when we first got Naismith back, again last year, I wanted to see him left back. Don't think we saw that at all. From memory. McGuinness, I'll go McGuinness. Do get involved in the chat as well with what you would go with based on this. The other side, Makoso, who is really improving on his English, by the way, which is great to see. Again, that was on the Luton YouTube. Right back, if we play a back four, based on what we've got, I'm going to put Walters there, or the Rotherham one. But I haven't really, if I'm going to be honest, I haven't really seen the Rotherham one in right back. So I'll go Walters. Now the three, I'm going to put George Saville in the middle of that, sort of just in front. There he is. Still got a Millwall badge. Still in the Millwall top as well. But just ignore that. Clark on the right. He can play right midfield as well. That's basically what it is. And then the left. Now the left is quite interesting. I mean, who would you guys go with on the left? Of that, I mean, I guess you've got to go Walsh. I guess. I mean, yeah, probably Walsh. And then the three. Right now, I'll say Wells. Again, I don't expect him to start every game, but still, he'll bring goals. That's for sure. And then what? Ali on the left. Might have to put his full name because it does this sometimes, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, so Ali on the left. And then the right. Now, the right's interesting. I'm not sure with the right. Because what you could either do, like I say, you could either put Clark as a right wing and then put another midfielder there, like the Rotherham one, for example. Because then basically you got Saville who can do both, the Rotherham one to defend more, and then Walsh being more attacking. I mean, who would you guys do? I mean, Nelson, yeah, Nelson's a good shout. There, I mean, he is quite good out wide as well. I mean, there was a few times last year where he come on, didn't he, and he was out wide. But again, I'm not sure what's happening with Jones. I'll be honest, if I definitely knew Jones was staying, I just don't know because of the number situation, then I would have put him there. But the fact that another player had his number the other day, I'm not sure. I mean, he weren't there. You know, obviously he's still got Luton in his bio and that, but I don't look at stuff like that. Unless they remove it, then I look at it. But, you know, stuff could be happening without us knowing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not too sure. I mean, I guess I'll say Nelson because I've got Ali on the left. I mean, my dad's put Ali. Obviously, I've got Ali on the left. So that's why I've not obviously said him there. Now, I know he can play both sides. I don't even know if Nelson's on it. He should be. Yeah, there he is. Oh, he's actually got a picture as well. That's good. If we go 4-3-3, based on right now, that's probably what I say we go with. So that's for you. There, Jackie. And then let me see if I can do a 3-4-3-1. I should be able to. I should be able to. Let me double check. 3-4. Is it 3-4-3-1? Yeah. Might actually see it. I don't know if I can actually. Annoying. Or did you mean a 3-4-2-1? You know what? I'll do a 3-4-2-1. Right, it's Shane goal, yeah. Let me just move them because I can keep them in. Not putting Naismith as a wing back. No thanks. Well, not a right wing back anyway. So Makoso, this what I would do. When it comes to that, so they're my back three. What I would actually do is I'd swap Ali and Wells. If we played this is what I'll go with. I'll put Wells up front, put Ali like sort of on the left. Obviously, you've got Savile and Clark. I would have to sacrifice someone, and it probably would be Nelson. Yeah, I think I'll take Nelson out. And what I'd do is right now, based on what we got, I'll put Doughty, not there obviously. I'd put him here, and then I would put Walsh up there like that. Walsh or Clark, but I'd probably go with Walsh because Clark can do a bit of both better. And we know Walsh does have their moments sometimes. And even in pre-season, I'll be honest, he has made some tackles at points and you'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, yeah, right now, I'll probably say that. My dad says Ali left, Nordas middle, Jones right. Yeah, obviously, if Jones does stay, that is. We need some pacey players. Yeah, probably. I mean, if we're going to play with wingers, which I can't see, but if we do, then yeah, definitely. Definitely, because Wells will be good at holding up the ball, looking for forward passes and stuff. Obviously, if he's not scoring and stuff. Two up front. Naki, Nordas, new signing. Yeah, I'd agree. Wells, Ali, and Nelson. 3-4-2-1. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll give that a go. Oh no, that is that. Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. I'll get Shane goal, Koso, Naismith, McGuinness. That is a nailed on back three if we play back three for me. Wolves lone player in defence. Yeah, we'll have to play him because he's on loan. Like, obviously, we don't have to, but he's on loan, so it makes sense to play him a good amount of times at least. Doughty, Walsh, Stephen Clark in midfield up front. Ali Nordas. Yeah, possibly. Try 3-5-2. Yeah, I'll try that now. See, this is what I could see right now. This is what I could see us playing the most anyway. Right, so obviously they're the back three. Shane goal. Now I say Walters and let me just push them up because it's annoying when they're like on them. So yeah, there you go with that. So they're the wing backs. Again, if we keep Jones, and obviously I'll play Jones there. Clark, Savile, and Walsh. Yeah, Ali and Wells. That you know what? Looking at that, right? That is probably what I'd want us to play the most. And again, I know people have their doubts about back three, but I'm looking at Ali and Wells up front, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's nice because you've got experience, and then you've got who a lot of people's opinions, including myself, will be one of the top scorers in League One in Ali. So that'll be really good. Because then you also look at that three, right? Like I said earlier, as much as the midfield works better under Bloomfield, you know, you've got someone who can defend, do a bit more dirty work in Savile. And then obviously you've got Clark and Walsh, who can do the attacking work. Clark can do a bit of both, I'd say. You got Doughty, obviously, if he stays. Again, like I've said, if you don't, you need to definitely address that situation anyway. Walters, again, if we keep Jones, I'd rather put Jones as a wing back. And then that back three, I think that back three's nailed on to be the back three. I would say, and I'm sure most of you agree in the chat, let me know, that is our strongest back three. If we're to play a back three, Naismith, McGuinness, and Makoso. I would say right now it probably is, based on what we know as well. Because, let's be honest, we haven't really seen the Wolves player. Let's just be honest about it. The Rotherham one, yes, but again, he's not actually a centre back. He did very good there for Rotherham, but he's not actually a centre back. So there is them things. And then Shea, but obviously, hopefully, we can get another keeper in. 3-1-4-2. That's also saying. Let me see if I can do that. I should be able to. 3-4-1-2. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. 3-4-1-2. Same back three. Doughty there. You know what I'll do? Yeah, I'll swap Doughty and... Yeah, there you go. I'll swap Doughty and Walsh. And then there you go. Bang. Like that. That's what I would do with that one. Yeah, we definitely need a right back. Like, nothing against Walters. I think he can definitely... Like, obviously, he was on the bench for Arsenal in the Prem. Like, it's obviously something there. But I just think it's not enough yet. I just think we need someone who's a bit more experienced in them sort of League 1/Championship. Just that's how I would see it. When it comes to that, with a CDM, I guess if you're doing a CDM, then you put Savile there, and then you do that. But what's that? That's like a 3-1. Was it? Oh, you'll be able to tell me in the chat. Jackie says, yeah, best back three. Yeah, I think it is. But I like the 3-5-2 actually. Looking at all them formations we've done right now, I like that one the most because, Ali and Wells up front, that is quite good. For League One, that is, Wells, like I say, getting 10 goals. Bristol City, who were up there. Do you know what that reminds me of? Even though Bristol City were up there and it's a little bit different, Morris, when he was in the Premier League for us, I think he got 11 goals in the end. But, still chipping in. You've got a player alongside. I do reckon, and I'll still say it to this day, if Elijah didn't get that, injury in the Premier League, so that was around about the time he was, got a hat-trick against Brighton and things like that, he'd probably been our top goal scorer. We'd probably still went down, I'll be honest, but yeah, he would have had more goals and he'd probably had more than Morris, to be fair, like I say. Dad says, Shea back three, Naismith and Guinness Makosa. Yeah, like I say, right now that is definitely our strongest back three for sure. And right now, again, I know I keep saying it, but Walton didn't have a good, well, I'd say 45 minutes. It weren't even that, was it? And I just think with him, I'm not too sure, man. And I'd rather go with Shea if I had to pick out them two right now, based on what I've seen, and also the fact that Shea can be good when he's called upon. I mean, the only blunder I can think throughout his time at Luton when he's had to step in was Stevenage in the League Cup. First ever vlog on the channel, actually. He got skilled up by like a League 2 player because they were in League 2 at the time. But other than that, ever since he's done well. First game after that was Nottingham Forest, 0-0 draw midweek. I was at that game. Done very well. Sluga had COVID, so everyone was a bit worried because he was actually doing all right at that time. And then obviously Portsmouth, he done well. Preston, obviously we lost, but that went last season, but that went down to him. And he started that game anyway. The other games I'm referring to are, he started against Forest as well. But my point. When he's had to step in, he's done well. 9 times out of 10. Savile CDM, yep. Definitely Naismith, McGuinness and Makoso for back three. Yeah, exactly. And like I say, Makoso, even though he done very well when he was still learning English, he's learned it even more now. So he'll be even better, next season. And yeah, I'm not worried he goes anywhere yet. maybe if he keeps performing really well, then maybe in January there might be an offer. But I think when it comes to the summer and the first half of the season, at least he'll be there, if not the whole season. Ali on left, Walsh Clark centre, yeah, Jones right, Naki and Nordas up top. Yeah, again, like I've said, if Jones does definitely stay, then yeah. I mean, I think he does. I just don't. It was a bit weird, wasn't it? I mean, we said it at the time, Dad. You know, that fact that someone had his number, you know, I don't know. It's like, for example, right, Liverpool obviously played their friendly yesterday. It's like Kirkes and Frimpong and that taking the current player's number. You'd think that that player's going, but they didn't. They had big numbers because they're waiting for players to leave. You know, so I don't know. I think we have more trust in Shea. Yeah, 100%. You know, 100%. We've seen him play numerous times if you're comparing the two. You know, let's be honest, other than the friendly, unless you watch the Scottish League, but I doubt anyone does in this chat, you know, you wouldn't have seen him play. The only times you would have seen him play was the game the other day for us and when we played him in that friendly last year, the 2-2 draw. That's it. That's the only times I've seen him play. Again, like I say, when he was at Barnsley, I didn't see him play because I'm pretty sure it wasn't the season Anderson was there. Or either way, if it was, I was keeping an eye on Anderson more. And again, that's not because I knew we were going to get him or anything. That's because he was the captain. Do you know what I mean? So you like to see how a captain is sometimes. And I know he was injured for their playoff final, and they were gutted. You know, because they'd have probably went up. I'd have probably backed him to go up if he was part of that team then. But I think it was a narrow 1-0 defeat. And again, I think Isted was in goal, if I remember rightly as well. So, yeah, that is that. When it comes to that, I was actually meant to change this regarding the Bloomfield thing, but I completely forgot to do that. So I said Chong to Preston the whole time. So do apologise about that. Completely forgot. But yeah, big up to everyone that has tuned in today. Like I say, as we go on, you know, we will be back. Me and my dad, like I say, as the weeks come on, we'll be back. But yeah, I just thought, why not speak on the Chong rumours, whether they are true or not. Like I say, I don't think they are overly true, but more sources and stuff reporting on it. So I thought I'd just get my thoughts. More signings to come. Obviously, Bloomfield has said that openly. And that's, again, that goes back to what I said earlier about the communication. You know, it's much better this year compared to last year. But they are doing a friendly tomorrow. Like I say, I am hearing that it's against Colchester behind closed doors, so they won't be showing it or anything. Obviously, if they come out and say they are, then I'll watch it, but behind closed doors, I can't see it. It's basically going to be like when we played Stevenage last year, beating 3-0. They'll just tell us the final result. And yeah, like I say, we obviously got Gillingham on Saturday. It has come out, well, obviously, hopefully Luton share it for free. But like I say, Gillingham's last friendly was against Reading, and they did charge £5. So hopefully Luton don't advise us to go there and pay £5 because I think paying for any friendly is a joke. Like, I don't care how much it is. I think it's a joke, to be honest. You know, look at yesterday. It was great. Obviously, I know it's unfortunately because of, you know, Jota's passing, like rest in peace and stuff. But it was good that they were showing a game on TV. You know, a friendly, because that is very rare. And they should do that more for me. You know, they should show friendlies more, especially on like ITV and that, where it's always free. You know, especially for, you know, the World Cup, the Euros. You know, they show them for free. Show friendlies for free. They've got nothing. Friendlies are nothing to play for except fitness. Do you know what I mean? So what's the harm in showing them? I don't really understand, to be honest. So, yeah, that is that. Jackie does remind me, we are all doing predictions this year. Yeah, I'll need to see how that's going to work. Obviously, me and my dad will do it. But with the chat, I don't know if I'm going to do it all in one. Like, so you and the rest of the chat count. Or I might just do it. No, I think I'll just do it separately, actually. It makes more sense, doesn't it? Because you all have different predictions. But yeah, make sure you do tune in every week. I know you do anyway, Jackie, but referring to other people, if you do want to join in for that, because yeah, obviously if you miss your predictions from a week, then yeah, it's not a lot I can do. So yeah, big up to Luton Town match predictions. Come on, Luton. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and again, obviously, last time we was in League One, very memorable. Um, I remember that game against Accrington Stanley, 3-0. Nathan Jones left the first time, I think it was. And yeah, beat 3-0. And yeah, that was a really good away day for the people that went. Obviously, I didn't go to it at that time, but I remember watching it and it was limbs. So yeah, hopefully there's another similar season. And at this rate, if we are competing up there, in the top two conversation, then we're probably battling with Huddersfield, I'd say. Right now, they've done very good business. Would be typical for Joe Taylor to score against us. Obviously, there is a lot of former Luton players at teams in League One. Obviously, Lincoln have Sonny Bradley, James Collins. There's probably more teams that have other players. I think, actually, even though they're not so great, I think Cambridge have... sorry, not Cambridge. Northampton, sorry. Have McGeehan, I believe. But yeah, talk about Northampton. That game is actually on my birthday. There is actually a game on my birthday. I think last year it was 2 days before my birthday. We had a Sunderland, I think. No, I can't remember. I know the day after we had Coventry away, so that wasn't a great late birthday present, was it? It looked like it was going to go alright, but obviously didn't, as we know. So hopefully stuff to actually celebrate this season. Like I say, we got the St Johnson's. That's what I'm calling it. We got that as well. So hopefully we can give that a go. Play the youngsters in that. Like I said earlier, I expect us to top that group. I'm going to be totally honest. Play some second string experienced players in that. Like I'll play Woodrow in that. To be fair, I'm not even going to lie. Fred at Wickham, yeah, that's true. That's true. Be interesting to see, because right now he's staying there. It'd be interesting to see if Kone does how he done at the first half of the season. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure with him, because let's be honest, it's ever since Bloomfield's left, really, he ain't been great. And I believe they've got some other strikers. I know they've done quite decent business, Wickham. But I'll tell you what, that'll be a feisty game as well, because we got them on Boxing Day, I believe, at Kenilworth Road, isn't it? So that'll be a good game as well. That'll be an interesting one. Right now, I back us to win that, especially at home. I mean, I remember the last couple of times played them at home, beat them comfortably, 2-0, 3-0. Maybe it won't quite be like that, but I expect us to win the game. There will be games we will struggle in. I think, I'll be honest. Again, it's early to say, because there's still business to be done for teams and stuff. But I do think we struggle in the first couple games. Maybe not the first game, against Wimbledon. I think we should really win that. But Peterborough away. I mean, again, I know I've lost a few key players, but I don't think that'll be an easy game. And it's a new league for us. Yes, we've been in it before, but it's new in the sense that we haven't for a while. So maybe there might be them few slip-ups. Coventry in the League Cup, not even looking at that. I'm taking that as a free hit. We'll lose that. If we don't, fair enough. Well, I just can't see us winning that. Bradford away, I mean, they've done business. I know it's just come up, but they've done some decent business. Yeah, it is on Boxing Day. I knew it was. Wigan at home. Right now, I'd say we win that. I'm not going to predict all of them. I'm just going to look at the first. I'm going to look up until Burton. Yeah, up until Burton away. Cardiff, again, obviously went down with us. That will not be easy. I'd probably back us being at home. Burton away. Now, I know they were in a relegation battle last year. They stayed up near the end. But I don't think that'll be an easy game. I mean, they've got a few decent players. They've got a few players that I would take. I'd definitely take Burrell, striker. I'll take him. If we've got Wells and him, I'll be buzzing. But I think Plymouth are linked with him. I don't know if they've officially put a bid in or anything. He's really good. Again, do you know what? He reminds me of Morris the year we went up. The year we were in the Premier League. In the sense of, I think he had like 10 goals last year. He plays for Jamaica's national team as well. And again, they're not the greatest nation. However, they do have some good players. as we know. But yeah, he's quite good. I'll take him, but I don't know if we're going to get him. They've got, I think his name's Charlie Webster. He's another youngster that I would take. I think he's quite young anyway. Let me just double check. So he got 5 goals last year. Bear in mind where they finished. 32 games. He's 21. That's another player. You know what? He could be an Asgard replacement. I'll put it out there. Maybe not as good, but we can definitely develop him. And then obviously we were linked with Owen Dodgson, who was there. He's not actually their player. He was a Burnley player. He still is, I believe. Well, he ain't gone anywhere. We were linked with him. Obviously, we linked with Jamal Lewis. So based on them links, you know we need a left-sided player anyway. For me, even if Doughty does stay, I think we need someone else. I really do, because you look at the other options there. I say you got Phillips, who's that's not his position. So yeah, that's interesting there. But it'll be interesting to see what other players we do get linked with, goalkeepers, and I expect a signing at some point this week. Do you know what? Maybe even before our game tomorrow. I don't know what time the game is. I'll say it's behind closed doors, so I don't really know on it. But maybe we might announce something before the game tomorrow and then play them in that game, and then we'll find out the final result when they tell us and things. And release probably some pictures on the website and stuff like that. But yeah, that'll be interesting. And obviously Gillingham, again, I know a few fans that are going out to that, so do enjoy that. Like I say, I will not be at a game now until Tottenham. Like I say, I'd love to do Southend, but the fact that it's a midweek is a bit annoying. And yeah, like I say, I will be at Tottenham doing fan camp. So if you do go to that game, do come over in the usual place that we were last year. And yeah, Moik will be doing one, so it'd be good to see him again. Hopefully there's positives to talk about. And hopefully, even though it's friendly, I want us to give Tottenham a game. Whatever lineup they put out will still be a good lineup, because at the end of the day, they just won the Europa League. So it will be interesting to see what happens there, who they put out, things like that, and who we put out, to be fair. So yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, as we get closer, me and my dad will be back again together, obviously, for the League One season. Not too sure what I'm doing yet regarding the first game of the season. Obviously, there'll be content out anyway. There'll be a match reaction for myself wherever I am. But I might be able to watch it at this pub that I've been going to and helping them promote their pub, really, to be fair. And they said they'll show that game for me. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be doing quite a lot of stuff there this year. So, yeah, there'll be a match reaction anyway for that game. So, yeah. But, yeah, like I say, Tottenham game, I'll be there doing fan camps. Do come over if you are attending that game. And, yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like, subscribe. Do follow me across all my socials. Do subscribe to the Extra channel. Big up to all the new subscribers recently as well. Do appreciate that. It is great to see. And yeah, do check out everything else that has been out recently if you haven't already. And yeah, until next time, I will see you guys in a bit. So yeah, till then, take care. Peace. Come on.